What's up, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and Lundrick here, and here we are. Wrestlemania 32 preview slash predictions. Wrestlemania's coming up Sunday night, April 3rd, from the AT&T Stadium, Dallas, Texas. So yeah, just like I do nearly every year for most big shows, previewing all the big matches, giving me predictions, that sort of thing. Long-term followers of the channel know how this works. Did Dallas last week, doing WrestleMania this week, and yeah, so question is Lundry excited for WrestleMania 32? Answer is, yeah, kind of. I wouldn't say I was massively excited and stuff like that, but I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably about a 7 on the excited meter. I think, uh, people have been complaining, saying about how this has had a horrible build and all that. There's a lot of criticism, but I think for the most part it's been pretty good. I mean, I say inconsistent's a good word. It's definitely had its ups and downs, but definitely beats the pants off a WrestleMania 31 build up, that's for sure. Probably say it's better than WrestleMania 29 build as well. So overall, a good build. I've gotta give WWE some slack though. I mean, the injuries they've had for this card have been absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you've seen at times where WrestleMania gets spoiled by injuries, but I think it's fair to say not on the level of this one. So over the last several months, several high-profile injuries have happened, ruining the card. Really started back with WWE champion Seth Rollins getting injured, I think, late October, early November. I mean, yeah, Seth Rollins would have been in one of the big matches on this show, but he got injured, and then so that ruined whatever plans he had for him. I've heard they were planning to do Seth Rollins and Triple H, but who knows. Then Randy Orton got injured. I mean, not saying Randy Orton would have got one of the absolute big spots on this show, but you have to think long-term superstar like Randy Orton would have had a pretty big role in this WrestleMania. He would have possibly would have wrestled someone like Bray Wyatt or something like that. So then Randy Orton was gone, and then it emerged that The Rock could not wrestle on this show because obviously that was the plan. Going with the big segment last year at WrestleMania 31, Rock was supposed to wrestle Triple H, but then that's out the window now because there was the insurance issue with his movies, meaning he couldn't wrestle. So they lost a guaranteed big money draw on The Rock. I mean, let's face it, The Rock wrestling probably would have sold out that stadium on its own. Well, not on its own, but definitely would have been a big attraction, would have drawn a lot of money. And then the big one, the one that really changed plans, in January, John Cena went down for shoulder injury. So the first WrestleMania in 12 years without John Cena and Randy Orton. Obviously Cena was supposed to wrestle The Undertaker in a big money match. That went out the window. So I think if you factor in all that, and obviously Daniel Bryan, it emerged that Daniel Bryan had to retire, so WWE couldn't play that card and bring Daniel Bryan back for WrestleMania 32. So you got Rollins, Orton, Rock, Cena, Bryan, and also I forgot to mention Sting got injured at Night of Champions against Seth Rollins. Ruled him out for a possible appearance. I mean, I don't know whether he would have wrestled The Undertaker or not, but I'm pretty sure had Sting not got hurt, he would have wrestled on this WrestleMania. So that's 6 names injured. So all things considered, with those factors, I think WWE's put together a pretty good card overall, which I'll get into a bit. So yeah, so my expectations are, I think match for match, this should be a very good show. I mean, let's not delude ourselves and think that this is going to be amongst the best WrestleManias of all time. It's definitely not. I would say it'll be one of those good but not great WrestleManias, like, trying to think of an example here, like a WrestleMania 22 or 23 or something like that. Maybe that sort of level, not unlike a WrestleMania 17 category, but and certainly not amongst the worst WrestleManias, like a lot of people are suggesting. So, wait. Well, so the mini rant's going to come in here, by the way. So we got 7 matches on the main card and then 4 fucking matches on the pre-show. I mean, seriously, what the fuck? They got 4 matches on the fucking pre-show. So, do you know what? If you're going to do that, then what's the point in booking the cunts? I mean, these matches are now completely fucking worthless now that they're on the pre-show. I mean, I can stomach 2 matches on the pre-show. Alright, fair enough. It's you've got to do your big entrances now, so you need time. But seriously, if you're gonna book 11 matches and then put 4 on the pre-show, why bother? Seriously, why the fuck bother with this? These matches are now completely pointless and a waste of time. So you've wasted valuable TV time building up these matches just to put them on the fucking pre-show. I mean, if you only intend to have 7 matches, just book 7 fucking matches in. Don't bother with this bullshit. Sorry about that. I just had to go there. But yeah, I'm gonna quickly go through the pre-show matches because if WWE doesn't give a shit about them, then why should I really? First of all, let's just get through this one. I don't give a shit about this match, to be honest. Team Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde. I mean, wow, fuck me, creative geniuses came up with that, Total Divas team with Brie Bella, Paige, Natalya, Alicia Fox, and for some bizarre reason, Eva Marie. Against Bad and Blonde, captained by Lana, Naomi, Tamina, Emma, and Summer Rae. Who cares? Anyone really care about this match? I mean, well, at least this one's on the pre-show. And for argument's sake, this is one of the 2 I would have put on the pre-show because who gives a fuck? This match is going to be shit, to be honest. I mean, we got on one side we got one great Divas match on the card and then one shitty one in this. I mean, the whole feud between Brie Bella and Lana's been shit. I mean, this time last year Lana was hot and over. This year no one gives a shit about it because of bad booking. And that ties into Rusev, which I might get into later on. But yeah, this match will probably stink the joint up. 5 minutes tops. Team Bella is a prediction. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Then we got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Fair play, I would have put this on the pre-show as well, but the thing with this, like, the Andre Battle Royal, WWE hasn't really done a good job of it. I mean, debuted 2 years ago at WrestleMania 30 with Cesaro winning, but what the hell happened after that? Cesaro ended up buried after that. Cesaro ended up getting buried, so it really hurt the tournament. And then last year, the Big Show won it, and that really didn't do anything either. So, yeah, I think because of that, I don't think people really care about. And in my opinion, this should be the last one. I mean, look at this fucking Motley Crue lineup we got so far. We got Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, and Bo Dallas of what do you call them? Social Outcast. Big Show, Kane, Tyler Breeze, which is a massive shame. I mean, really wish Tyler Breeze had gotten the Intercontinental match. I mean, Tyler Breeze's first WrestleMania, he's in I don't know. That's been a really terrible NXT call-up. Tyler Breeze has had a bad run on the main roster. But anyway, gold dust R-Truth. Darren Young, Steve still has a job. Alright. Mark Henry, Conor and Victor, the Ascension, Jack Swagger, Fandango, and Damien Sandow. So, possibly be more participants than that, I don't know, but that's a fucking C squad and a half, isn't it? You pretty much got all your, well, not all your job guys, all your job guys thrown in Tyler Breeze, then thrown in Big Show and Kane and Mark Henry. Yeah, that's a pretty terrible lineup, to be fair. Really bad. Possibly the Wyatt family will be in there, but I don't think they will, to be honest, because there's been no, like, real hint of that. Possibly put an NXT star in there. Not sure, because he had Hideo Itami was in last year. So, possibly throw an NXT star in there to... And I'm not sure who. Maybe maybe a Finn Balor, someone like that. Maybe assuming Finn Balor's coming up. But yeah, match should be okay. I'm assuming, but match should be all right. Definitely won't be better than the first two. I mean, I think the first one in WrestleMania 30 was the best. Last year's was pretty good, but yeah. So and this match is really only revolved around the Social Outcast and the Big Show and Kane. So not really that interested in this match at all. Now for this one, I'm gonna get two predictions. I'm gonna give out two predictions here. So. And yeah, I know that's probably bending the rules a little bit, but this is my video, and if I want to have two predictions, that's my prerogative. If the Wyatt family are in this match, I'm going to predict Braun Strowman to win it. And if he's not, I'm going to predict Mark Henry to win it. I think with it being in Texas and Mark Henry probably retiring this year, either way, he's coming towards me in his career, isn't he? So. Mark Henry get this big victory here. Well, not a big victory, but you know what I mean. One last victory in his career in Texas. So prediction Mark Henry really, and then we got Dudley's versus the Usos. I mean, this is a match. I'm fairly disappointed. This one's on the kickoff show. I mean, it's like, is this a rib against the Usos now? I mean, is this some sort of running joke that pissed the Usos off? I mean. This is actually the third WrestleMania in a row that the Usos are on the pre-show, defending the tag belts at WrestleMania 30 against Ryback and Curtis Axel. I can't remember who was in it now. Real Americans and someone else. I can't remember. I remember all the teams now. Then also a four-way tag last year with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, New Day and I think it was Los Matadors. Yeah, it was. And then obviously this year they get a nice singles feud going with the Dudleys, and thinking, oh, hopefully maybe they'll get in the pre-show this year, but nope. Maybe they'll get in the main card this year, but no, they on the pre-show. And I actually like the fact this feud's built up for quite a couple of months now. I mean, when the Dudleys turned heel a couple of months ago, I think I assumed they would have just blown this feud in Raw, but no, they've actually stretched it out over a couple of months now, and this is the Dudleys' first WrestleMania back since This would be the first appearance on a WrestleMania since WrestleMania 20 back in 2004, because they weren't on WrestleMania 21, then they were released in 2005. So it's a shame for them as well that they haven't made the main WrestleMania card. I think they probably deserved a spot at WrestleMania, even if they had 5, 6, 7 minutes, that would have been fine, really. I mean, and I like the fact that Dudleys have turned heel now. I think definitely more potential as heels than baby faces. They were doing alright as faces, but after the feud of the New Day, and after they put over the Wyatt family, there was really not much for them to do. So yeah, this feud's been pretty decent. I wouldn't call it a great feud or anything, but it's been decent enough. A nice little mid-card feud, which is just a shame, really. Really disappointed it didn't get on the WrestleMania card. As a prediction, probably go for the Usos, because I think Dudleys are kind of like the Jericho of the tag team division now. For the most part, the Dudleys are going to put over the guys and lose most of the matches, but they're overact and they know how to work, that they'll be able to keep the heat. As long as they don't fucking lose all the time to absolutely ridiculous teams. They're not getting beat off Social Outcasts and stuff like that. But sorry, I should be tired there. I'll probably go with the Usos to defeat the Dudleys. Then so another match I'm pissed off on the pre-show, and this is only just been announced for it. United States Championship, Ryback versus Kalisto. This one should have been in the main card as well. Really upset that it's not. Just honestly, if you're gonna put on the pre-show, don't book it. Put Ryback in the Andre Battle Royal. Fucking put Kalisto in the Intercontinental title ladder match for all I care. Fuck no. It's just stupid, really, that they've done this. Um, for me, this shows what's happened to the US. I mean, this time last year, the US title was defended by Rusev against John Cena. John Cena won the US title last year at WrestleMania. And then John Cena, you can trash him all you want, but can't deny that John Cena himself pretty much raised the profile of the US title. I mean, the John Cena Open Challenge was probably some of the best stuff on TV. And John Cena really done an excellent job of building the US title. And then John Cena lost the US title in October, and here we are 6 months later, and look at it. It's not only regressed to where it was last year, it's actually gotten a hell of a lot worse. So all of John Cena's good work in raising the US title is gone. So really, really bad. I mean, and Kalisto's doing a decent enough job. I mean, the only thing I would say that the whole hot shot in the belt of Alberto Del Rio was stupid, and ultimately him and Del Rio had far too many matches, but I think Kalisto's quietly breaking out into a decent level star. I mean, not saying he's the next Rey Mysterio or anything, but I think he does a pretty good job, and then so I'm quite happy with his progress. I'm not a massive Kalisto fan, but I like him. I think he's good. He's not outstanding. I mean, he's not a Rey Mysterio, but in fairness, Rey Mysterios don't grow on trees. That's a hell of a big legacy to live up to. But I think Kalisto does pretty well for himself. I mean, yeah, so no complaints about Kalisto. I think Ryback turning heels kind of freshened him up a little bit. I mean, Ryback was in a bit of a rut, in my opinion. As a face, he'd pretty much done all that he could. I mean, 3 years ago, Ryback was very, very hot, and WWE ruined him. And ever since then, he's kind of stuttered. I mean, he's had decent moments, sure, and all that, but I think his days of being a main eventer are over. So they took the singlet off him, put him in boots and tights, which I see what they were going for. I mean, not sure it was the best thing, because I always thought like Ryback singlets were cool and all that. He had a good attire and all that, and then a heel turn where he's going after the little guys now, which that's an easy one to do. I mean, because nowadays you get a lot of like debate between wrestling fans of size matters, size doesn't matter. For the record, I don't think size matters. I mean, I've been telling girls that for years, but yeah, in all seriousness, so you got like your fans that think size matters and all that, and then yeah, the other fans that argue with them. So it's good enough storyline to go with. I mean, build up this has been all right. Not great, not bad. It's at least it's had some pretty decent build up, I would say. This like I said, this will probably be a decent big man little man match, I would say. I would say not a great match, but a pretty decent match, I would say. As a prediction, I'm gonna go with Ryback to defeat Kalisto to win the US title. I just think the big guy will win this one, and I have heard rumours that they're looking to do Ryback and Roman Reigns in the near future, but so we'll see how that pans out. So that's the 4 match pre-show covered. Now onto the main card. So these are the lucky 7 matches that have made this year's WrestleMania. Let's go through it. I mean, first up, and this is a match I expect to open up the show. Same as last year. Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Champion Kevin Owens defending against Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Stardust, Zack Ryder, and completely forgot the 7th guy now. Sin Cara, that's it. Aye, so this is one where I think wrestling fans are genuinely happy but disappointed. I mean, happy that the Intercontinental title's being defended on WrestleMania. Pleased we're getting a ladder match, but I think ultimately what we wanted was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a singles match for the Intercontinental title on this card, and I have to agree with that. I mean, ideally this isn't what I want, but it should be. I'll take it. It's like I'll accept this. It's not ideally what I wanted, but because I think obviously I agree with the people who say Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was the right way to go. I'm in complete agreement with that. Obviously WWE had other plans, but Right. And I suppose, yeah. So at least the Intercontinental title's got a storyline again this year. I mean, and Kevin Owens has made his first WrestleMania appearance. He deserves it. After, I would say he's had a iffy. I mean, he had a great feud with Cena, but ended up getting Super Cena'd. Solid summer. Nice Intercontinental title run. Pretty good feud with Dean Ambrose, and he's back on the Intercontinental title. So now, hopefully, this time next year at WrestleMania 33, Kevin Owens will be moved up the card and more towards the main event scene over the next year. But yeah, and obviously, veterans Miz and Dolph Ziggler, they're probably in this match because they're like WWE rewarding them for the great work. And here's an ironic stat: this is Dolph Ziggler's 7th WrestleMania. Yet Dolph Ziggler has never had a singles match at WrestleMania. So check this out. WrestleMania 26, he was in Money in the Bank. 27, it was him and Leigh Cool against John Morrison, Snooki and Trish Stratus. 28, he was part of Team Johnny. 30, he was in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And 29, it was him and Big E versus Team Hell No for the tag titles. And then last year, he was in this same spot on the Intercontinental title ladder match. And of course, The Miz, amazingly enough, main evented WrestleMania 5 years ago as WWE champion. I always think I think the Miz is settled now into his mid card role. I think that's the best role for him as well. Then we got Stardust, which I suppose Stardust was in the same match last year. He can work a ladder match. Sin Cara's an interesting one. It's yes, something that kind of upsets me a bit though. The Sin Cara's on the WrestleMania card and Kalisto is not. That kind of annoys me. And then Zack Ryder. I mean, this would have been a great idea 4 years ago. I mean, no, I like Zack Ryder. I think he's entertaining and all that, but he's pretty much the R-Truth for that. He's pretty much the R-Truth for last year. The WTF? What the fuck is he doing in this match? And I know, granted, he was a last place replacement, was supposed to be Neville, but unfortunately for Neville, he broke his ankle 2 weeks ago, and he misses WrestleMania now, which is a massive shame because this would have been a perfect match for Neville. So Zack Ryder's got his spot. I mean, it's just that he hasn't done anything for like years. I mean, he's been pretty much superstars for a couple, 2 or 3 years. And for Christ's sake, he's been tag team with Rojo fucking Morley on NXT. God, I hate Mojo Rawley. He's an annoying twat. But yeah, it just came out of the blue and out of nowhere, really. But yeah, if it was up to me and I had to do the multi-man route, I would probably just do a 4-way with Zayn, Ziggler, Miz and Kevin Owens. But yeah, build up this being fine. Sami Zayn is now a full-time member of the main roster. First he came back at the Royal Rumble to attack Kevin Owens. Then we were thinking Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn for WrestleMania, that'd be cool. But they haven't done that, and I'm assuming they're going to have a singles feud after this and probably have the first pay-per-view match at Payback and then Extreme Rules maybe as well. I think this is what this match is going to boil down to. The Kevin Owens Sami Zayn rivalry. I mean, so I think you can pretty much rule out the other challengers. I don't think any of them really have a realistic shot at winning. So it really only comes down to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And this is a prediction I've just changed my mind. And I mean, I did have Sami Zayn to win, but seeing Monday night on Raw, watching watching Sami Zayn pin Kevin Owens clean in a tag team match. When WWE does that sort of thing, the loser usually goes over at the pay-per-view. So because of that, I'm changing my prediction to Kevin Owens to retain the Intercontinental title. Hopefully there's a big some cool spots in here and all that. Hopefully, not sure exactly what the finish would be. Maybe Owens powerbombs in off the ladder or something like that, and goes on to win it. So Kevin Owens to retain the Intercontinental title. We've got a 4-3 handicap match next. Not the New Day versus League of Nations, and this is fine for me. I mean, fairly happy this one's on the card. I'm gonna be fairly into this one. I think First thing I'd like to say is I'm actually really stoked that the New Day got a WrestleMania spot this year. I mean, over the last year they've worked really hard in acting, got it over to the point now where they once hated baby faces, they turned heel, uh, made themselves so entertaining that they're now over as baby faces a year later. Um, so yeah, I'm really pleased that they managed because after all the stuff they've done this last year, they've got a WrestleMania spot because obviously a lot of guys weren't so lucky and ended up getting thrown on the pre-show. But New Day were on the pre-show last year, but here they are on the main WrestleMania card this year, taking on League of Nations, Sheamus, King Barrett, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio. League of Nations is probably one of the most boring factions in a while, really. I will say though that this feud's been pretty good for them. I mean, one thing I did like a couple of weeks ago, that big beatdown by uh, League of Nations to the New Day. Thought that was a really good beatdown. Uh, got some good heat on them and all that. That turned the New Day babyface. It's amazing to think that Sheamus was WWE champion just about 4 months ago, was it? He was champion as far back as December of last year. King Barrett had a terrible year. Absolutely awful year. Won the King of the Ring. Then ended up getting completely fucking buried. And then looks like Barrett's probably going to leave the WWE this year. But yeah. Rusev, has he been a bigger fall of grace from WrestleMania 31 to WrestleMania 2 than Rusev? I don't think so. Rusev has won the big matches last year with John Cena. He was, this time last year, he was the undefeated heel. And obviously, oh God, it's been an absolutely shocking year for him. I mean, look at him now. For me, Rusev could have been a main event player in WWE, but they've absolutely ruined it. Seriously thought the guy was that good. Then obviously Alberto Del Rio returned to WWE last year, and I'd have to say honestly, I think Del Rio's return's been a big flop, to be honest with you. Just don't think it's gone well at all. I mean, the whole Mex-American thing with Zeb Colt was awful. And then his spot in League of Nations was kind of lame for him. And then, yeah, it just hasn't gone well at all, really, has it, to be honest with you. Then we got, yeah, that's it. So, yeah. 4-3 handicap match, so hope it'll be fast-paced, exciting. I mean, I think everyone here is at least a good wrestler. I think even Big E's come on a lot the last year. Really impressed with him, he does well. Kofi Kingston, tremendous in the ring. Most of the League of Nations are solid workers, so this should be a solid match. Not a great match or anything like that, but I'm expecting about a 3-star, 3.25 level star match type of thing. I think that's a realistic expectation. Not sure how much time it'll get. Be kind of cool if New Day got a cool entrance, though, wouldn't it? But yeah, and as far as the prediction, I'll predict the New Day to win because I think that's definitely the right way to go. I think New Day's baby faces should get a. I like to see them get a nice push from here on out now. Be quite interesting. I'll be quite interested in seeing them feud the White family down the road. Maybe into the late spring, early summer. That'd be quite cool. Depends if we get a Bullet Club or not. That might be quite cool as well. So prediction: the New Day. Now here's a match I'm pretty hyped for, and that WrestleMania debut of AJ Styles taking on Chris Jericho. This feud's been awesome, guys. It really has. One of the best built matches on the entire show, in my opinion. I mean, how weird this AJ Styles is actually wrestling at WrestleMania. How cool is that? That's cool as fuck, isn't it? That's something even a few years ago I would have thought would never happen. I mean, last year we saw Sting make his WrestleMania debut. This year we're seeing AJ Styles make his. And really the only real reason I never thought AJ would be in WWE because I thought it'd be like a TNA lifer, to be honest with you. I always thought AJ Styles would be TNA for life. As long as TNA existed, AJ Styles would be there. And I think most people thought that, and hell, AJ probably thought that. He probably thought he was TNA for life, but of course that all changed in 2014. WWE weren't interested in him then, so AJ went to New Japan Pro Wrestling, had an absolutely phenomenal run. I mean, I would recommend checking out a lot of AJ Styles' New Japan work. Some of it is some of it's his best work of his career. And then 2016 rolls around. WWE now are interested in AJ Styles on the back of that great run. And AJ Styles made his WWE debut at the Royal Rumble as AJ Styles. And then, fair play to WWE. They picked out an awesome first feud to AJ Styles, and that's someone else who returned in January 2016. That's Chris Jericho. I think this has been the best feud that they could have possibly had. I mean, it's been great for AJ because he's been put in there for a great veteran like Chris Jericho. The AJ Styles to help AJ Styles adapt to WWE styles as quickly as possible. And it's been a great feud with Chris Jericho to show he still has it. I mean, so AJ Styles' WWE run so far has been good. I'm quite happy with it. He's kept the name AJ Styles. He's same gimmick and all that. Had pretty good matches, being treated as with respect and all that. So, and Chris Jericho, I think, what a career revival this has been for him. I mean, I think it's obvious now. Chris Jericho still got it. Chris Jericho still a brilliant performer. Heel turn's been absolutely fantastic for him. So really started the night after the Royal Rumble. Chris Jericho, AJ's first match on Raw was against Chris Jericho. AJ beat Chris Jericho. The feud really began there. The Miz was a good middleman. Jericho challenged Styles for a rematch on SmackDown on February the 11th, I think it was. Could be wrong about the date, but then in a rematch, Chris Jericho beat AJ Styles, and that set up the rubber match at Fastlane with AJ and Chris Jericho. And at the time, I was thinking, God, I really love this feud to go into WrestleMania. And I was really enjoying it. I mean, because obviously they were slow building Jericho heel turn, which so happy that we actually got some long term booking out of this. AJ Styles beats Chris Jericho again at Fastlane. They shake hands, and then next night on Raw they form a tag team, Y2 AJ. I mean, but it was pretty obvious that Jericho was going to turn AJ Styles. I mean, that's not a bad thing, by the way. I'm not saying that's wrong. Just making a point that it was obvious it was going to happen, because sometimes you get people complain about things being too predictable and all that. But sometimes things are predictable because that's the right thing to do. That's definitely the case here. And hell, in that short-lived team, we got a great match in Raw in Chicago out of it between Jericho and AJ versus a New Day. And then was it that match or was it not? I think it was it? Yeah, it was after that match that Chris Jericho turned on AJ Styles, turned heel, and then started going back towards the Honest Man gimmick he had in 2008, 2009. It's not completely the same, but it's more along those lines. Like he does do you understand what I'm saying to you right now catchphrase still. He's not wearing the suit anymore, but even worse, he wears a waistcoat and scarf without a shirt. Sometimes he wears a suit jacket without a shirt. Ooh, that's heelish as fuck, that, like. But yeah, so what I like is this has been booked from the Royal Rumble all the way to here, so we've actually had a pretty decently long-term storyline out of this. Jericho's a heel, AJ Styles a babyface. The position didn't. Their roles are clearly defined. Fans are clearly behind AJ. And Jericho's right, the fans did choose AJ Styles over him, so it's one of those justifiable heel turns. But yeah, really, really enjoyed this feud, and I know it's not ideal that they've had 4 matches, but I definitely think this is definitely the right move for WrestleMania. Blow the feud off here. Hopefully this will be a great match. I mean, every match you've had's been good. I would say so far the best one was the SmackDown match. Fastlane match was pretty great, but not amazing. And hopefully this could be a great match. It really could. I mean, it won't be the show stealer match, I don't think, but it could be a great match. It really could be. I mean, AJ Styles' first WrestleMania, and who knows how many Jericho's got left in him. I mean, as long as Chris Jericho still performing at a high level, Chris Jericho can stick around for me. I mean, he's proven at the age of 45 he's still a brilliant performer. He's got the experience. I mean, he's not as physically as gifted as he once was, but I think what he does now is uses his wrestling brain to the best of his ability. Um, he uses psychology a lot better now and all that. So yeah, Chris Jericho is still a brilliant performer. He's proven that. AJ Styles arguably the best in-ring performer in the world. Um, so yeah, this should be a great match. And as a prediction, gonna go with AJ Styles to defeat Chris Jericho to officially end this feud. I mean, because I think ultimately Jericho's in his growth of putting guys over now. So and it probably would be a bit stupid to have him win this feud with AJ Styles. So therefore, AJ Styles is the winner. Um, Next up, a pretty well anticipated match. Triple threat match for the WWE Divas Championship. Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. Gonna say this right now. The best built up match of WrestleMania 32. I really do believe that. From start to finish, it's been booked well. The right decisions, the right steps and all that. And again, another a long-term booking plan. And here we go. This is great. I mean, on one side, what I meant to talk about earlier, you've got that fucking shitty Total Divas match, but this is what the Divas Revolution should have been all along. The one that started last summer, which didn't really get going, but it's really taken until now for it to get going. I mean, this is what, yeah. So this is great. This is a great example of what NXT should be. For the past 2 years, these were three of the four horsewomen battling on NXT, and now they've transitioned to the main roster, and that rivalry has been brought to the main roster and on the biggest stage possible, WrestleMania 32. Charlotte's the champion, Sasha and Becky the challengers. So this really started like towards the end of 2015, going into 2016, with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. That's how the feud started. Obviously the eventual heel turn of Charlotte on Becky Lynch, because they were part of team, but the PCB, yeah, because obviously the whole Page thing happened before this, and now it was Charlotte and Becky. They were having a pretty solid little feud going into 2016. I mean, with the injuries and that, I think Sasha Banks was out for a bit. Becky Lynch got the opportunity to shine a bit, and she's really done a good job of getting herself over. I mean, fans really got behind Becky because at the start of this Revolution thing, Becky Lynch was kind of the background player for sure, but then she got herself into a nice spot here, which was cool. Becky started doing really well. Charlotte was doing a good heel turn in hindsight. I mean, I wasn't a fan of it at the time, but I think it's definitely been best for Charlotte in the long run. She was fairly colourless as a babyface, so now as a heel managed by her dad, Ric Flair, she's shown more of a personality, and she just seems better as a heel in the long run, in my opinion. I even thought that on NXT, to be honest with you. When she turned face in NXT, I think she was always better as a heel there as well. And that's the case here too. They had the little match at the Royal Rumble with Charlotte going over. She cheated, I think. I'm sure she did. And then the boss returned, Sasha Banks, at the Royal Rumble. And yeah, now I think, no, this is pretty cool. We won. Sasha Banks got a great pop there. So now we knew it was either going to go one or two ways. Charlotte was going to end up facing Sasha, or it was going to be a three-way at WrestleMania. And then ultimately WWE went in the triple threat direction, which is what it should have been. That's good. It started out with Sasha and Becky forming an alliance, which was... that worked, I think. I think it did a good job of prolonging the feud. I mean, worst thing WWE could have done is fucking blew the feud in a few weeks and had to blow it off at Fastlane or something. So doing the Sasha Becky alliance really helped the feud. allowed it to drag out to WrestleMania. I mean, Charlotte was preoccupied with a short feud with Brie Bella, so it was really a job of holding this match off to WrestleMania. I mean, they had two number one contender matches between Sasha and Becky, which Charlotte ruined both of them. Then we got the triple threat match, and this match had been announced 4 weeks ago, so it's really, if you think about it, considering the start of Charlotte and Becky, it's had almost 4 months of solid build-up. And I mean, yeah, it's just been really, really good. I mean, really enjoyed this feud big time. I think it's like I say, I honestly do feel like it's been the best built match of WrestleMania this year. I really do. Better than the big three matches, which I'm going to get into. And I would say the second best built match has been AJ Styles and Chris Jericho, actually. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I mean, I'm a guy who saw the NXT women's division build and build from like last couple of years. These women in particular, I saw them develop on NXT, and now for them to take that to the main roster is something I'm really excited to see. Now, time depending, this could be an excellent match. I mean, hopefully it'll get time. Hopefully, if it's dicked for time, then that'll be disappointing. If it gets a solid amount of time, hopefully it possibly be a great match. At least a very good match for sure. I think a minimum of a very good match I'm expecting. Don't think it'll steal the show. Some people seem to think it's a sleeper match to steal the show, but there's another match in here that I think will definitely be better than that, which I'll get into. I can't see it stealing the show, but this will be a very entertaining match. Hopefully the hardcore crowd will be into it, because I think a lot of the NXT fans will be at WrestleMania, so if you're at WrestleMania, show your support of these girls. They definitely deserve it. As far as a prediction, I think I'm going to go with the majority prediction. I mean, pretty much nearly everyone's predicted the same thing, but I think it's right, and I'm going with Sasha Banks to make Charlotte submit to the Banks statement to become WWE Divas Champion. I think that's definitely the way to go. Now we're on to the 3 big matches. Now, Jesus Christ, 42 minutes, fucking hell. Why do I keep doing this? I keep going ridiculously long in these videos. Do you guys like me doing that or not? Comment in the section below if you actually like me doing long videos. But anyway, for big attraction now, no holds barred street fight, Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose, and if there's any match at WrestleMania 32 I'm excited to see the most, it's got to be this one. This is going to be a great match, I think. And for me, the show stealer of WrestleMania 32. You probably heard me say this match won't steal the show, but this match will steal the show at WrestleMania 32, in my opinion. I mean, I'm really happy for Dean Ambrose this year. I mean, because for the most part, like last year, WrestleMania, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins took centre stage, and Ambrose, the other guy in the Shield, got thrown to the ladder match. Then SummerSlam last year, him and Reigns was thrown to a match with their Wyatt family. So it felt like for the longest time, WWE would push Dean Ambrose to a certain level and then hold him back. Never going all the way with him. He was never pushed like Rollins and Reigns were, which was a shame for him. But I think the last couple of months, with all the injuries and all that, like Cena being out, Orton being out, Bryan ultimately unable to return, having to retire. There's been a spot open. Obviously Rollins being gone as well. A spot opened up for Dean Ambrose, and he took it. For me, up to now, Dean Ambrose has probably been the hottest star in the WWE, in my opinion. I mean, he's really over with the fans right now. He's cutting great promos, having good matches, and he's being rewarded. I mean, something I'm going to get into this later, but original plan was for Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt, and that's probably going to play a part in this match, which I'll get into. But then in the build-up of Fastlane, which was Lesnar versus Reigns versus Ambrose and one contendership, Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose started interacting, and it was really good. It was really, really good. Fans are really enjoying it, and then got to give WWE credit here. They took note of that, took note of the fans' reaction and then changed plans and changed the match to Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose. They went with it, which I think is really, really cool. So, yeah, started off a few seconds with Dean Ambrose coming out after Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar beating the shit out of Dean Ambrose. Then at Fastlane, Ambrose attacked Lesnar with a chair, costing Lesnar the match and ultimately himself the match as well. Then the next night on Raw, they had Brock Lesnar attack Dean Ambrose in the car park, and Ambrose challenged Lesnar for WrestleMania, and now we're at the point where we're getting the match. I mean, for me, the build of this match has been good, but for me, it could have been a lot better. I mean, few factors in there. First, they had the opportunity to have some great mic wars between Dean Ambrose and Paul Heyman. Obviously, Brock Lesnar has limited dates, so Brock Lesnar isn't on Monday Night Raw every week. He isn't on SmackDown every week. So, in those instances where Brock wasn't there, surely Dean Ambrose and Paul Heyman could have had some great back-to-back banter on the microphone. I mean, yeah, that's a massive missed opportunity, Mike. I don't know why they didn't do that. I mean, it just seems really fucking stupid that they didn't really do much of that. I mean, surely Paul Heyman on the microphone against Dean Ambrose on the microphone would have been golden, right? I mean, could have solved this match. I mean, so that's a big missed opportunity for me. And then another argument I would make to say why this feud could have been better. It ties into the main event too. I mean, that mini feud that Dean Ambrose and Triple H had in the Roadblock was a little bit of a distraction, and while that was going on, the Ambrose Lesnar issue cooled down a little bit. So I think the couple of weeks of Dean Ambrose feuding with Triple H, I think, definitely cooled this feud off a little bit. I understand why they were doing it to sell Roadblock, but they unintentionally cooled the Ambrose Lesnar feud down a little bit. But it's picked up in recent weeks, which a couple of awesome cameo appearances like Mick Foley giving Dean Ambrose the barbed wire baseball bat, because they saw this match really well. It's like, obviously in a one-on-one match, Dean Ambrose doesn't have a chance against Brock Lesnar, but in an environment with weapons involved and all that, Dean Ambrose has a few good equalisers he could use to possibly gain an advantage on Brock Lesnar. And then last week, Terry Funk gave him a chainsaw, which was awesome. And not last week, the week before. Then the other night on Raw, Lesnar was in the ring. Dean Ambrose came out with a what do you call it? A fucking, I can't remember, a box thingy where he was taking weapons from underneath the ring and putting them in there. And what was awesome, he did this whole thing without looking at Brock Lesnar once, and Brock Lesnar just looking amused, like, what the fuck's this idiot doing? So yeah, excited for the match, but I think the build-up could have been better. And obviously, on paper, this is the show stealer for WrestleMania, in my opinion. We know Brock Lesnar brings it every time he wrestles. I mean, Brock Lesnar is an absolutely tremendous performer. And I think Dean Ambrose is on top of his game right now, just waiting for that one breakout match that propels him into permanent main event status. I mean, he's getting there, he's getting towards main event status, and I think this match would be the one that pushes him in that thing for good. I mean, if he steals a show, WrestleMania is going to get looked at in a different light by WWE, hopefully. Obviously, hardcore street fights, suits both men down to the ground. Obviously Ambrose excels in that environment. Brock Lesnar just loves the physical match, and this is what it'll be. I imagine this match will be very physical. Will there be blood? If Brock Lesnar decides there's going to be blood, there's going to be blood. I mean, are you going to tell Brock Lesnar not to do that? So if Brock Lesnar decides he wants to bleed, he's going to bleed, basically. Now, the big debate about who's going over. So this is what I want to happen. There's a lot of people saying, should Ambrose go over Lesnar or not? Here's my stance on this one. If Brock Lesnar defeats Dean Ambrose, does that really do anything? I mean, does that make Brock Lesnar a bigger star than he already is? No, I don't think he does. That's the thing, like, Brock Lesnar beats Dean Ambrose, and Brock Lesnar doesn't really gain anything by that, in my opinion. Brock Lesnar does not become a bigger star or anything like that. So yeah, well, that doesn't really do anything for WWE if Brock Lesnar just beats Dean Ambrose again. But on the other side, if they have Dean Ambrose beat Brock Lesnar, then that's a golden opportunity to make a genuine star. I mean, you look at Roman Reigns in the main event against Triple H, but say Ambrose beat Brock Lesnar, for me that would be every bit as big as Roman Reigns winning the WWE title. So if those two victories happen, this would be a genuine opportunity for WWE to build, to make two big stars, on the two breakout stars on this show. I mean, I think it's better for WWE in the long run if they have Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose as top guys, and obviously with Seth Rollins coming back in the summer, that would be three top guys. So yeah, I just think it's a golden opportunity to make Dean Ambrose into a superstar. I mean, Dean Ambrose beats Brock Lesnar, he's made. Dean Ambrose is a star if he beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. The man who conquered the streak. This would be Brock Lesnar's first clean loss since that match as well, so it'd be a huge deal if Ambrose could beat Brock Lesnar. Now, as a prediction, unfortunately, I don't see WWE doing that. I mean, I want WWE to do that, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they will. There's a nagging feeling that I can't get out of my mind. The Wyatt family are going to get involved in this match. Obviously, this was supposed to be the original plan. Brock Lesnar wrestled Wyatt and Harper. Wait, technically Harper, but it was supposed to be a handicap match of Wyatt and Harper at Roadblock, and just nagging rumours going on about this match being invaded by the Wyatt family. Obviously, the Wyatt family went after Lesnar on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. The Wyatt family currently aren't booked for WrestleMania, although they might be in the Andre Battle Royal. But so yeah, just the nagging feeling, I can't get away from it. It won't leave my mind that the Wyatt family are going to interfere in this match and ruin it basically. And yeah, so that's my prediction. I'm gonna pick Brock Lesnar to beat Dean Ambrose. Then the Wyatt family going to run in and attack Brock Lesnar, because he seem determined to do that feud, really, don't they? Yeah. But either Brock Lesnar wins or the Wyatt family attack both men and making it into a no contest, which that would suck, but that's the scenario I can see them doing. So official prediction: Brock Lesnar to win, but the Wyatt family attack Lesnar post match, which, if they did that, could they not just leave that for Raw the next night? But yeah, unfortunately, that's what I think they're going to do. So I want Dean Ambrose to win, but I have a hard time believing it'll happen type thing. But anyway, now on to this may or may not main event WrestleMania. That hasn't been made completely clear yet. So at the moment, it looks like one of these two matches will main event WrestleMania. Hell in a Cell, Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. Shane McMahon wins, Shane gets control of Monday Night Raw, and The Undertaker's career is over. Then, if The Undertaker wins, Shane has to write off Vince's debt to him. So, build up for this one has been strange to say the least. I mean, it's had its ups and its downs for sure, I mean, but I appreciate this probably wasn't the original plan. So for The Undertaker this year, it was really, no one really knew what was going to happen for The Undertaker this year at WrestleMania. Sting got injured at Night of Champions, and that was a no-go, and I don't think that match was ever on the cards anyway, because for some reason WWE just weren't interested in doing that match. They should have done it last year, like I said, but they didn't. I'm not going to rant about that. I'm going to keep calm and not rant about that. Then obviously now Cena and Taker was planned for WrestleMania. That would have been a big match. Not as big as when the Streak was alive, but still. Cena and Undertaker would have been interesting, no denying that. Cena gets injured in January, leaves the Undertaker without an opponent. So who else was he really? So people complaining about Shane McMahon being the Undertaker's opponent. Who else was he? Sting injured, Cena injured. So who else really? I mean, Braun Strowman. Does any sane human being really want to see that match? Kane again? Nope. So they really made it out their choice, and by bringing Shane McMahon back, I mean, with all the stars injured now, obviously The Rock unable to wrestle, Austin ruling out a WrestleMania comeback, so Austin was never coming back, so do really needed someone for this WrestleMania. With Sting out, Sting was a big attraction last year. Rock was a big attraction of 28 and 29. And obviously he couldn't wrestle this year. Cena injured. So they needed a marquee name. And they really went out there to get one, and that's the return of Vince's son Shane after 7 years away. And that was a genuinely shocking moment on Raw when Shane McMahon came back. If you're going to pretend that you saw that coming, I'm going to call you an outright liar right now. Really am. So Shane returns to Raw. And the pop he got was amazing as well. And it was an exciting segment. It turned out that several years ago Vince screwed up badly, and then Shane bailed him out. Shane bailed him out, and now he was... And then they made a deal, put it all in a lockbox with let Shane go on and do his own things, but now he's coming back. He wanted it. He didn't like the way the business was going with the authority in charge. I mean, really, it was a kind of a shooting on themselves here, using Shane to point out that the fact the product sucked now and guys were getting injured, ratings were down. I'm thinking, are they really admitting all this shit on TV? It was really strange to see that, but anyway, it culminated in Shane asking Vince to take control of Monday Night Raw. Vince would give him what he wanted if he won one match one time, and it was WrestleMania, and Vince picked his opponent as the Undertaker, and to make this even stranger, it was now a Hell in a Cell match, so it really wasn't out there choice to do, and it was going to require a lot of work. I mean, and obviously it hasn't always been good. I mean, I do give WWE some slack though, because clearly this wasn't the big plan going to WrestleMania. This was changed pretty last minute, and I get the impression this feud has been pretty much booked on the fly, totally on the fly. So booking it week from week really. So they've had a big WrestleMania match to sell while trying to figure out how to book this at the same time. So I'll say this has been a very up and down build up. I mean, the Vince and Shane feud's been good. Those segments have been good. At the same time though, this mysterious lockbox hasn't been referenced again since the first segment, which really, I mean, obviously you don't say what's in the lockbox, but you haven't even hinted at it since, not even mentioned it, so it's like they've just forgotten about that small but not the small but important detail of why this feud was happening in the first place. Undertaker's role was not clear. They did a poor job of explaining why the Undertaker would suddenly fight for Vince and all that. I mean, the first segment he showed up and he pretty much walked into the ring, said one line, grabbed Vince by the throat and left. That was it. No explanation, nothing. Then they did a segment about 3 weeks ago which was even more confusing. Undertaker said he was fighting for his legacy, but didn't really elaborate on why he was fighting for Vince, why he was Vince's instrument of destruction. Shane cut a fairly bad promo on that show where he stuttered through his words and all that sort of thing. And another, Undertaker, lose long hair please. You're 51 years old, you're balding, you look ridiculous with long hair and a bald patch at the back. Just let it go. There was a reason why you shaved your head in the first place. Just go back to short hair. Let it go. You're too old to be having long hair now. Stop it. Stop it. But yeah, and then I think the last 2 weeks they picked up. I mean, they did some great video packages 2 weeks ago, and then the stakes were raised when Vince and he said, so I was wrong in my opening line, by the way, of this feud. That if you're going to take a loss, this would be last WrestleMania. So he did carefully word it. He didn't say specifically the Undertaker's career was on the line. I mean, I know I said that in the opening segment, but I was wrong about that. I apologise for making that mistake. Um, so Undertaker's would never wrestle at WrestleMania again. So he was fighting for his WrestleMania career, which. So now the Undertaker has something to fight for, which, in fairness, WWE, they should have done that a lot earlier. They should have made that stipulation a lot earlier. So yeah, they did get it right in the end. But so give WWE credit for one thing. They recognised that the whole Undertaker Shane feud wasn't completely connected. Opinions were divided. So they had to do something to try and build up the anticipation. And then this week on Raw, they had a great go-home segment, I think. Fair play to Undertaker and Shane. They really did a good job of giving us one last big hype job for this match. Loved that segment with Shane and the Undertaker. Oh, granted, I think Shane's punches still look fucking awful. I mean, really. Shane's punches look terrible still. And Undertaker going to have to sell them, which is bad. But then they did the old elbow drop off the rope for the announce table spot by Shane, which was a great spot. And so a really great segment to take this match home. I really enjoyed that. Sorry. Thought that was a really good segment. Give us one final push for this match. And I think the opinions is divided on this feud. Some people love it. Some people think it's a bit stupid. I think it's good, but it's had its flaws for sure. Granted, but I will cut away a lot of slack in this one. They really were in a jam and had to come up with something last minute. So yeah, so there we go. Now let's be realistic about this match. Undertaker's 51 years old. Shane McMahon's 46 and hasn't wrestled in 7 years, and wasn't a full-time wrestler anyway. So this won't be a great match as far as a match goes, like technically and all that. Match probably be fairly average, the actual action portion, but if they can tell a great story, bring out some big spots, book it well, they'll be able to have an entertaining spectacle, in my opinion. Sort of like Triple H and Sting had last year. Obviously with the Hell in a Cell, they can get creative. It's going to be interesting to see if Shane can do all these old moves. I mean, Jordan Roy can still do the elbow spot. And what I've seen of him, like his body and all that, he looks in pretty decent shape. Be very interesting to see if he can do the coast-to-coast dropkick still. That'd be cool if he could do that. Undertaker at his age, he'll give you what he's got. Undertaker doesn't have a lot left in the tank, but he'll give you all he's got here in his home state of Texas. So I expect this match to be entertaining. Not a great match or even a good match, but it'll be entertaining spectacle. Crowd will be into it and all that, hopefully. Now, look at some of the possibilities of what might happen. If Shane defeats The Undertaker, obviously Shane can't win this match clean, because that would be stupid, really, wouldn't it? Shane beating The Undertaker clean would be ridiculous. So you'd think someone is going to cost Taker the match if he loses, building up to something later on. I mean, I'm going to rule Sting out. I mean, I know a lot of people still have hope that Sting will cost Undertaker this match, and then Sting and Undertaker can wrestle, but Sting ain't wrestling ever again, guys. I know he's been bigging himself up in the media and all that, saying he wants to come back for WrestleMania and that, but the man's 57 years old, has spinal stenosis. That's no joke, people. Spinal stenosis is no joke, guys. The same condition that Austin had to retire from. Same condition that forced Edge to retire. And those guys were 20 years younger than Sting is now, so Sting ain't wrestling again. WWE just aren't going to take that risk. I mean, say Sting takes the tombstone, breaks his neck and paralysed from the neck down. That's on WWE's hands. WWE aren't going to take that risk, they're really not. Now the most likely scenario if Shane wins is John Cena interfering, costing the Undertaker the match. I mean, John Cena, if he possibly made an appearance, costs the Undertaker the match, and then we get Cena and Undertaker maybe SummerSlam this year. Although to be fair, if Shane won, they'd probably just renege on the stipulation anyway. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time wrestling promoters had reneged on a stipulation, would it? But then some people seem to think the Bullet Club might make their debut here and cost the Undertaker the match, but I don't think that'll happen. I expect them to be the night after WrestleMania on Raw. As an official prediction though, I'm going to predict the Undertaker to beat Shane McMahon. I think that's what they'll do. This Shane McMahon comeback's a short-term thing. Shane's come back for this WrestleMania. He'll get his match, he'll lose to the Undertaker, and Shane will go back to doing whatever the hell he was doing before. Then we got and then the Authority will stay in charge, and not much will change at all really. So predicting the Undertaker to defeat Shane McMahon. Now, what may or may not be the main event for the WWE Championship, Triple H versus Roman Reigns, and this is, I don't know guys, I mean, this just hasn't gone well for Roman, has it really, again, which is a massive shame in my opinion. I think this build-up's had its good points and its bad points. So yeah, overall, I would say this match has been built up decently, but the anticipation just isn't there. The interest from the fans just isn't really what it needs to be, and that's a shame. I mean, I understand some of the Roman hate, yeah, but I think a lot of it's unjustified now, in my opinion. I think some people are hating just to be haters, in my opinion, anyway. Like last year, I'll grant you that Roman Reigns probably wasn't ready for that spot, but I think since last year he's worked hard, he's improved a lot in the ring. Promos, that's kind of iffy. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be awful. I mean, he's definitely not a natural on the mic, let's put it like that. Yes, obviously sometimes WWE scripts his promos horribly as well, but he's done good. He's a good worker. I mean, it's just a shame that the fans start hating on him again. The sad thing is, it looked like possibly WWE had cracked it. Maybe he was getting good reactions in December and into early January, but that was really, looks like that was just a temporary thing. And as WrestleMania season's worn on, the resentment's back, the booing's back. It's unfortunate because I think some of the segments have been good. Like the last couple of weeks have been some pretty decent segments, but the crowd reaction's not been there to back it up. And yeah, so for the second year Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania, and fans aren't really interested, which is a shame because I feel sorry for the guy, I really do, because I think he's being booked pretty horribly in my opinion. I mean, a lot of it's not even his own fault. I mean, granted, you can't be entirely blameless, but I'd say the majority of the blame goes to WWE and why this is happening. Over the second year of running, we've got a WrestleMania main event that fans aren't really interested in, which is unfortunate. I mean, this match has been building since like November, when Roman Reigns originally turned down Triple H's offer to become the corporate champion in the Authority right before Survivor Series, and then Roman wins the title of Survivor Series, Sheamus cashes in, becomes champion, has a 1 month reign. It really took shape at TLC where Roman Reigns beat the crap out of Triple H, which is probably the best thing that WWE's done with Roman Reigns. They mostly got it right with him. Fans really loved it when he did that. Then he won the title the next night and then got into a feud with the Authority. Triple H defended the title at the Royal Rumble in the Royal Rumble match, which I still maintain was a mistake, in my opinion. I really do. And then Triple H came back and won the WWE title that night, which made sense in terms of this storyline, but Wasn't really ideal seeing Triple H as WWE champion again, but it works. And then this is where the problems began. Uh, Resentment started back for Roman Reigns, unfortunately as well. Hindsight was it was possibly a mistake to put him in there with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose at Fastlane. Two guys more popular than him, I think. When he was when he was feuding with Vince and Stephanie and the Authority for those few months, he was getting good crowd reactions. When they had him in there with Sheamus, I think fans wanted him to beat Sheamus, so I think fans are behind him then. But when you put him in there with guys that are more popular with him, it doesn't really work. And I think that's when the resentment started. But the daft thing is, all fans were kicking off that Roman won at Fastlane. But what were we expecting? We were expecting him not to win. If you're honestly expecting Roman not to win at Fastlane, you're a pretty stupid person in my opinion. It was obvious Roman was winning because he's been building this matchup for a while. Triple H had just won the title, so it was obvious that Roman was going to try and win it back at WrestleMania. And it's not like Dean Ambrose got buried either. I mean, Dean Ambrose has the Brock Lesnar match, so if Roman had won this match and then Dean Ambrose had been thrown into the Intercontinental title ladder match, for example, then I think the complaints would have been a lot more justified. But Dean Ambrose is in just possibly even more of an important match than Roman Reigns is, so Dean Ambrose is getting pushed alongside Roman Reigns at this point, so I really think getting upset over that's a bit stupid. Dean Ambrose is doing just fine. Yeah, and then the next night on Raw is when I think this feud took a really bad turn. They did a brain dead thing where Triple H came out looking like the badass babyface, beating the shit out of Roman Reigns and completely acting like a face as well, playing to the crowd and stuff like that. It's like, no, that was stupid. That was a stupid segment. It really was. It really hurt Roman Reigns' momentum, made Triple H an even bigger babyface, which is completely the wrong way to go. It just didn't work. Now, granted, Roman Reigns actually did need nasal surgery, so he needed to reset his nose. And all I can say about that is, thank God it wasn't Triple H who needed nose surgery, because poor fucking doctors would have been up all night trying to work on that fucking big, huge nose. I mean, can you imagine having to be a surgeon working on a nose like Triple H's? Jesus Christ. I mean, these poor doctors work long hours as it is. I imagine they'd be putting in a hell of a lot of overtime. They had to reset Triple H's schnoz. But anyway, so yeah, Roman Reigns off television for 2 weeks, and then I think a big problem was when Triple H had that mini feud with Dean Ambrose. It was like the Ambrose Triple H's interactions are better than the Triple H and Roman Reigns ones were. So I really feel like the Triple H Ambrose little thing was hotter and more entertaining than the Roman Reigns one, which really didn't help Roman Reigns at all. And then I feel like taking the time off, he was like off television for nearly 3 weeks, I think it was. I think he cooled off while he was gone as well. It wasn't that one where the fans were wanting to see him come back. I think like obviously sometimes you say absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think that wasn't the case here. I think Roman Reigns definitely cooled off, and then he returned in a good segment where he came out and attacked Triple H after his match with Dolph Ziggler. And I think these beatdown segments we've got over the last couple of weeks, they've been good segments, but it's just like the fans aren't reacting accordingly, which is a massive shame, because I do feel like the beatdown segments are good and all that, but without the crowd reaction, it doesn't seem as exciting, if you understand what I mean. And some of the promos they've been cutting, like Triple H coming out the other week and saying we relate to Roman Reigns and all that. We like talking about how the fans relate to Roman Reigns, all that, and it's like, no, we don't. Like, oh yeah, sure, we relate to someone like Roman Reigns. He's trying to underdog him again, but how many times? Roman Reigns is not an underdog. Like, we can all see this, right? I mean, Roman Reigns, in a most manly way I can possibly say this, is a good-looking man, a great athlete, has a big wrestling family, and he's the sort of wrestler WWE wants to headline. I mean, we did underdog stuff with Daniel Bryan. It worked because Daniel Bryan was generally an underdog. He was undersized. He wasn't the most handsome guy. Didn't have the most marketable look, but he had great heart and great work behind him. Roman Reigns is, it frustrates me so much because stop underdogging Roman Reigns. We know it's bullshit. We know it's not real, yes, but there has to be at least some part of reality to the storylines. You know what I mean? It's like, no, fans don't relate to Roman Reigns because guess what? Most people don't look like Roman Reigns. Most people don't have Roman Reigns' body or his athletic skills or his family background. People don't have what Roman Reigns has. So, no, we don't relate to Roman Reigns, thank you very much. Now, granted, he was trying to push the match, but I feel like he could have done it in a much better way than that. Then last week, I suppose you got to give Triple H, he tried to get heat, but it just wasn't working. Then Stephanie implied that this was the only match that mattered on the card, which I thought that was just a bit needless in my opinion. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like I say, parts of the build-up's been good, but parts of it have been bad, and once again, fans aren't behind Roman Reigns like WWE want them to be, which is a shame. I mean, I feel like the guy deserves a break from the fans. I mean, I don't know. I feel sorry for him more than anything. I mean, and I just feel bad that once again we're going to WrestleMania, fans aren't really taking to Roman Reigns. I mean, he's going to get booed out the building, isn't he? Let's be honest. So once again, Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania. Not the hot babyface that we really wanted him to be. That's a shame, really. I think, yeah, he's going to get booed. I mean, crowds, because obviously another factor is, obviously most fans don't like Roman Reigns anyway. Something I want to address anyway. Certain people like coming in and try to claim that the WWE crowds now are all just trolls who just like to boo Roman Reigns for the crack. That's honestly what people are saying. That the people who go to wrestling matches now are just trolls who just want to hate on things all the time. The real fans don't go to the arena anymore, apparently, which I think that's a load of horse shit. Facts are, some people don't like Roman Reigns because they don't find him entertaining, unfortunately, but it just annoys me when people try to claim that all the crowds now are just troll smarks. Everyone seems to think that smarks are ruining, so-called smarks anyway, because I don't think smark's really a real thing. But they try to make out that smarks are several thousands of people at arenas all the time, and they just go there to boo Roman Reigns for the crack, which I find complete bullshit. I call complete bullshit on that. But yeah, so the crowd's going to boo Roman Reigns, mostly cheer Triple H, and yeah, it's going to be like a Cena all over again, isn't it, really? Cena, Triple H and WrestleMania 22. Just with about 5 times the amount of people there. The sad thing is, though, I think the match is going to be great as well. I really do expect the match to deliver a tremendous match. I mean, say what you want, Roman Reigns can actually wrestle. I mean, he's proven that over the last year he can work a great match. I mean, Daniel Bryan Fastlane, Brock Lesnar WrestleMania last year. I know what you might be thinking. Daniel Bryan was awesome and had great matches, everyone granted, and Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns got by in a physical match. Fair enough, but Bray Wyatt, Hell in a Cell, Bray Wyatt's not in your choice, having great matches with everyone. He had a very good match with Del Rio at Survivor Series. Him and what's his face? Sheamus had a great match the night Roman Reigns won the WWE title, and Sheamus isn't exactly renowned for being a great wrestler, so yeah, Roman Reigns can work, and Triple H has still got it. I mean, he's had 2 matches recently, the great match with Ambrose at Roadblock, and then he had another great match with Dolph Ziggler on Raw a couple of weeks ago. So Triple H has proved to me at the age of 46 he's still an excellent performer. And that's the sad thing. This match will probably be pretty great. I mean, not going to be a classic or anything like that, but I'm expecting a pretty great match out of here. I mean, Triple H is a great worker. Now he'll work around Roman's limitations and work a smart match. So the only problem is the crowd probably aren't going to react accordingly, which is a sad thing. Another thing I forgot to mention, The Rock. The Rock's advertised WrestleMania, but they haven't said what he's going to do. I mean, hello? We're 4 days towards WrestleMania. Do you feel like telling us what The Rock might do on this show? No. I'm assuming they're going to try and do what he did at Royal Rumble 2015. Roman's going to get in some trouble. Someone's going to help Triple H. Possibly DX, maybe. I suppose Triple H's been hanging out with the Dudleys lately, hasn't he? So maybe the Dudleys are helping, and I think The Rock will come out and even up the odds and get rid of whoever was beating Roman Reigns up, and then leaving Triple H open for Roman Reigns to defeat him, and The Rock's going to endorse Roman Reigns. I think that's what I think is going to happen. So as a prediction, and this is the easiest prediction I've made all video. This is probably the easiest match to predict of the night. Roman Reigns to defeat Triple H clean to become the WWE Champion. Probably get endorsed by The Rock, which that didn't work at Philadelphia at the Royal Rumble, did it? But could it work here? Who knows? I would say probably not, but we'll see. We'll just have to see how it goes then. So Roman Reigns will win the WWE Championship, and I still think this will go on last. I mean, a lot of people think Shane and Taker will, but I'm still going to say this is going to be the main event for me, but whatever. So yeah, another long ass video, 1 hour 21 minutes. So that's WrestleMania 32 preview and predictions. Gonna no more videos until Saturday, which is going to be Saturday morning, which will be Takeover Dallas review in the traditional slide form. As always, Monday morning WrestleMania 32 slide review. Mouth for now, guys, and peace.